We'll get started. Good morning. Welcome to our inaugural welcome to our inaugural celebration of Disability Awareness Month, where today we are recognizing outstanding employers who have diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in their mission statement, and including people with disabilities in their workforce to make it a better, more productive workforce, and we want to thank them for that. Today, as both Commissioner of the Permanent Status on the Persons with Disabilities and State House ABA Coordinator, I have the honor of introducing Chair Denise Garlick. Chair Denise Garlick is a legislator that covers the 13th Norfolk District, which covers Needham, Dover, and parts of Medford. She has more than 40 years of experience as an ICU nurse who worked with the mental health community, the developmental disability community, young college-age students, veterans, and more, which has led to part of her journey here now as chair of the Permanent Status on Persons with Disabilities community. Since her joining the legislature in 2010, she has served on every major public health committee and policy here in the State House, and she was formerly on the Ways and Means Committee and is now chair of the Education Committee. Now that's a resume. That's an impressive resume. But we're in a building full of people with impressive resumes, okay? Here's what I really want to say about Chair Denise Garlick, and I don't want to belittle her resume. It's a very impressive resume, but what I would like to say, since I joined her Permanent Status of Commission with Persons with Disability Commission, I've gotten to know her as a friend, as a sincere individual, a compassionate individual, a dedicated person, and a champion of people with disabilities. And that's what I want to make sure you understand about Representative Denise Garlick today. So it is my true honor and pleasure to announce Representative Denise Garlick, who will be emceeing this important event and honoring outstanding companies and organizations who will recognize the need for diversifying their workforce by hiring people with disabilities. Thank you.
Truly hope that everybody heard that most warm and wonderful introduction. And I believe, like Carl does, we're in a building with people that have very impressive resumes, but it's our relationships that matter the most. Having said that, I would like to first call out the representatives who serve on the commission who are present with us today. Rep. Matt Mortuary has been extraordinary in his work. Senator O'Connor, Jerry Cassidy, Representative Kay Khan. I am also joined by the chair of the Joint Commission on Children, Families, and People with Disabilities, Chair Jay Livingstone. We are joined by Senator Jake Oliveira, Rep. Sally Kearns, Rep. Kathy Lenatra, who we will hear more from soon, Rep. Tommy Vitolo, Rep. Kip Diggs, Rep. Mike Kushmerek, and Rep. Jay Barrows. It is very important for people who are the friends and allies of the community of disability. If any representative was not named, please see my Chief of Staff, Colin Feeder, and we will make sure that everyone here knows that you're here. If you will bear with me on just a bit of housekeeping as we begin, I certainly want to welcome you all on behalf of the Permanent Commission on the Status of Persons with Disabilities. I warmly welcome you to the State House, and this is our inaugural commission signature event. I am pleased and honored to see so many key champions in this room. And before we begin, as Carl was so careful in his extraordinary work, making sure there is access in the State House, he did in fact ensure that we have card services that you see on the screen. They are being done virtually. And directly in front of me is an American Sign interpreter who is virtual. So anyone who's watching the screen, who is at home watching virtually, we will have those interpreters available. We also have members of the public joining us by Zoom. We are a 21-member independent, permanent funded commission. And I always say to people, listen to that. It's permanent and it's funded, right? Those are magic words for a commission. And we have a broad charge to advance the cause of all persons with disabilities in Massachusetts. At this time, I would like you to refer you to your program, and I would like you to look very carefully at page 2. While you are doing this, I would like the commissioners in the room to please stand. This has been the most commission member-driven initiative that I have ever seen. And it is because of these commissioners, because of their own work in the arenas in which they work, because of their networks, that the commission has been so effective, in my opinion. And we have named each and every one of them in our press release, so you know how to find them. Our mission is to unite, celebrate what I call the many planets in the disability community. Those of us who are gathered today look around the room and we're like, well, these are all the people working on the disability community. But I don't know this one. I didn't know that one. The mission of the commission is to bring what I call the planets of the disability community, where we talk about unique disabilities. We talk about the needs of that subpopulation, the language they need, the accommodation they might need, the goals that they have. And the goal of the commission is to make us a galaxy, just one united galaxy, together moving forward. Each member of the commission has approached the issues with their own unique expertise. Carl was kind enough to tell you that I am a nurse, which I think is something valuable I bring to my service. More valuable, I believe, is that I'm the mother of an adult, a young adult now with developmental disabilities. It is through the lens of a mother, through the lens of a nurse. I was a health supervisor in the day have program, through my work in the legislature, that I hope to bring leadership to our commission through those experiences. The diversity of backgrounds with the commission is the strength that helps us determine our goals. We have explored or plan to explore many issues. It was my goal as the chair that we take on one issue at a time. Because we're permanent and because we're funded, we can build a very strong foundation. And we can build this house of our galaxy of all the issues of disability, brick by brick, so that it can stand, and it can stand the test of time. In our inaugural celebration this year, we are recognizing National Disability We are recognizing National Disability Employment Awareness Month. And today is a day in which we gather in celebration, but also in goal setting, in a vision. As we gather in the State House, we are lifting up the accomplishments of people with disabilities who have gained meaningful employment and their employers, as well as honoring the workforce of people that supports individuals with disabilities who may or may not have the desire or capacity to be employed, but who need to have support every day to have a meaningful, purposeful life that they choose. Our celebration also takes place in the middle of Latino Heritage Month. Disability, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and gender identity are intersectional. And it is with this perspective that we must continue our work on equity and inclusion. And to everyone who is seated here, in every meeting that you go to, every community event, every conversation in the supermarket, when the discussion comes up about diversity, equity, and inclusion, remind them that that E is also for disability. We are grateful for the leadership of Governor Maura Healey, Speaker of the House Representatives Ron Mariano, and Senate President Karen Spilka. And we are honored today to have the Executive Office of Health and Human Services Secretary Kate Walsh joining us. I'm going to take a breath again. I'm going to step back, then I'm going to step forward again, because I really want to have this moment. Okay? Step back. There is a quote by Walsh. It says, watch your thoughts. They become your words. Watch your words. They become your actions. Watch your actions. Become your habits. And watch your habits. They become your character. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny. It is my distinct honor to welcome Secretary Kate Walsh this morning. We are all reading your bio. We are all trying to dissect every quote that that is printed about you. And we are looking at words, but I want to take this one moment to look at actions. 10 years ago, long before she ever received the title, I was in a week-long seminar with Kate Walsh. I do not believe she ever noticed me, but I want you to know I noticed her. We were in a prestigious setting surrounded by highly credentialed people. She actually seemed pretty unimpressed with all the pomp, but what she was laser focused on the content. And she asked the most insightful, the most hard-hitting questions each and every day. Her actions mattered, and in her hard-hitting questions, her actions revealed a core of integrity and a genuine search for solutions. As a disability community, we are surrounded by many words of support. In fact, it's the right thing to say you support people with disabilities. But as a fractured community, we struggle for policy and we fight for resources. To be the Secretary of Health and Human Services means that every moment of her working day, there is a demand for her attention, and it seems a crisis on every horizon. Her action today of choosing to be with us, the Commission on the Status of Individuals with Disabilities, demonstrates unequivocally her commitment to our community. We can discern from this action that discussion on policy and resources will be met by a secretary whose actions show a deep commitment to our community. We are most fortunate to have Kate Walsh as the Secretary of Health and Human Services and to have her meeting with us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Carlick, for those incredible words. Now I have this horrible feeling that all I can do is disappoint people, but it was really kind of moving. I'm trying to pull myself together here. So as you heard, I'm Kate Walsh. I'm the Secretary of Human Services, Health and Human Services. I've served in this role since March. On behalf of Governor Healy, Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, and the entire Healy-Driscoll administration, I want to wish you a happy Disability Employment Awareness Month. Oh, higher, sorry. When Governor Healy asked me to take on this role, she outlined her three priority goals, which was to make Massachusetts more competitive, more affordable, and more equitable. And your theme this year, advancing access and equity, fits perfectly with her goals and our work. That's why I am so honored to be here today to represent those goals, but I think more importantly, to deepen our partnership with your important work. We must continue to break down barriers to make our Commonwealth a more inclusive place. Whether you're an employer making hiring decisions, a current employee, a job seeker, or a member of the legislature, we have to create and protect a workforce culture that welcomes everyone. In my first 7 months as secretary, I spent a lot of time in my car. And without fail, at every meeting, in every place I've been across our state, the first thing that comes up is workforce and workforce shortages. And then this crisis is complicated, but I think there's a clear solution that employers aren't leveraging enough. Our state needs workers and our residents with disabilities need jobs. But we have to talk about the impact of stigma on hiring decisions. Even when employers believe they're using objective criteria, they're not. And we know there's a gap between a perception of what disability looks like and the sometimes very complex, invisible reality of people with disabilities. Many employers don't realize they have people with profound disabilities in their workforce already. The reality is businesses benefit from hiring people with disabilities. We have to get that message out. Having an inclusive workforce improves the lives of everybody in the workforce. It builds trust, it encourages transparency, and it fosters a positive atmosphere. Employees with disabilities have unique lived experience. They offer perspectives, skills, representation that non-disabled people and employers can't offer. People with disabilities are an asset to employers. And this is proof. There's proof of this. According to the US Department of Labor, employers who have embraced disability as a component of their talent strategy report a 90% increase in retention, a 72% increase in employee productivity, a 45% increase in workforce safety. There's no better time than now to build an inclusive workforce. And that means, by definition, hiring people with disabilities. I know how difficult this workforce crisis has been. I'm sure many of you who are here today have been impacted by it, personally, professionally, in the legislature. And I hope that out of these challenges, which are profound, creates opportunities for the people we're here to serve. So I'd like to take a moment and commend our own Mass Rehabilitation Commission, Mass Commission of the Blind, Mass Commission for the Deaf of Hard of Hearing, for leading the Commonwealth efforts to break down employment barriers for people with disabilities. If you're a job seeker with a disability here today, or better yet, an employer looking for talent, I encourage you to reach out to our agencies and learn about the services and resources and supports they have to offer. It's our responsibility to break down barriers for people with disabilities. And what better time than October, right now, to take action. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call Senator O'Connor to join me. Senator O'Connor is an extraordinary legislator who is also serving on the Commission on the Status of Individuals with Disabilities. He is accepting an award on behalf of Senate President Karen Spilka, who was our 2023 National Disability Employment Awareness Month Award recipient, for the continuous work she has done to elevate the importance of people with disabilities. Senator O'Connor.
Morning, everybody. It's a real honor for me to be here today. I got into office 7 years ago, and one of my main legislative priorities and passions is being able to help individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And I appreciate all the work that all of you do in this space, from employment to making sure that individuals have the dignity and respect that they deserve. You truly are the champions, so thank you. I'm very proud of the work of this commission and Chair Garlick. I honestly couldn't have asked for a better person to lead this commission, this extraordinary work that the legislature is being able to do. The work that you've been able to do in this space, your personal lived experiences are incredibly valuable. So thank you. So to kick off this week, one of the honors that I have is being able to accept the award on behalf of our Senate President, Karen Spilka, for the 2023 National Disability Employment Awareness Month. Senate President Spilka has shown unwavering dedication and selfless commitment to improving the lives of individuals with disabilities, and has had a profound impact on our Commonwealth because of her work. In 2010, when she was accepting an award, she said that disability issues are part of my life and they always will be. She has talked openly about her sister who's passed away, who had disabilities, and how important and meaningful employment was for her and for so many other individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Along with her personal experiences, Senate President Spilka has served as a licensed social worker, an attorney specializing in labor and employment law, and is the first chair of the Senate Joint Committee on Children, Family, and Persons with Disabilities. Through this wealth of experience and perspective, she is widely regarded as a subject matter expert and strong advocate for individuals with disabilities and their families. Throughout her career, Senate President Spilka has championed the rights of people with disabilities and has taught us in the Senate the power of empathy, understanding, and the importance of creating an environment where everyone can thrive. I proudly accept this award on behalf of Senate President Spilka and thank her for all the work that she has done. On behalf of me and my colleagues in the Massachusetts State Senate, thank you for recognizing the remarkable contributions of our Senate President. Thank you.
At this time, we would like to present an award that Senator O'Connor will bring to the Senate President. This is art. We have dealt with the entity of Gateway Arts, a VinFen entity. The artist may well be in the room, and if so, I hope the artist will stand. But this is an example. This company embraces individuals with disabilities, but reminds us of the tremendous skills and talents of any individual. So this art piece. Thank you for being patient with the pictures. I said to Secretary Walsh, in our world, if you don't have the picture, it actually didn't happen. Okay, I would now ask Representative Kathy Lenatra to join with me. Kathy is part of a tremendous pedigree here. We are presenting an award to Representative Josh Carla. Kathy Lenatra is here on behalf of Speaker Ron Murray. We are presenting to Representative Carla the 2023 National Disability Employment Awareness Month Award. Rep. Josh Carla, this is an important part of our story as a commission, was instrumental in the creation of the commission. He tells us that Kathy was his right-hand person. The workability report for persons with disabilities detail the barriers facing individuals with disabilities from entering the workforce and recommended targeted initiatives to increase the workforce participation. When I talk about actions, reports are button, actions are better. Rep. Cutler then wrote the legislative language that funded, made permanent this commission. We are deeply thankful for his commitment to the work, and we are thankful that he has very, very good partners. I want to share with you, and I am not breaking in confidence, that Rep. Cutler had surgery last week and was insisting to me he could be here, and I insisted to him it was only one time to heal. So he is home healing. Please give him your thoughts as we hear Representative's words.
Thank you all. It's wonderful to be here. Yes, Rep. Cutler is recovering at home. I was texting with him this morning and I said, do you have a few words I should say? And he says, no, just make me look good. So as Chair Golick said, there's no words to make Rep. Cutler look good. He is an amazing person. He's actually one of my mentors and talked me into accepting this role for running for this position. And I'm so glad that he did. He's been there every step of the way. He was the chair of the Future Workforce Commission, brought me aboard that. And I've learned so much through him. And I am just honestly honored to accept this award on his behalf. So thank you.
So once again, we have this extraordinary award. If the artist is present, please come and join us for the pictures. At this time, I would like to call to the podium Osmond. I think of all the people I am trying to unite in the galaxy, most people already know Oz. And it is very wise to do that. What Oz is on the executive board of the commission. He is there for every call, every action we need to take. And I will tell you, with our incredible program director, Ina Mosey, he has been a driving force for the events we have had this week and next week. So thank you, Les.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. To say I'm thrilled to be here is an understatement. I'm a proud member of this commission. I'm a proud member of being in a group that can't do enough. So with that said, you know, the Commission on Status of Persons with Disability really wants to make a difference. So it's all about you. And we're combining with many, many resources in the state to support these efforts. Today, I have the great opportunity to recognize 2 employers that see the value, productivity, and the competitive edge that their businesses have when hiring talented, skilled, and innovative individuals with disabilities. While we've made some inroads in inclusive hiring of our community, we've learned from MRC that we remain at a low 22% employment rate for our community, while the general public is enjoying and stand at 66%. We have a long way to go, and I'll take this opportunity to charge all businesses to tap this pool. I assure you, like the businesses that we'll recognize today, you will benefit. And it's really about economic development for all of us. Now I'll introduce these champions that are making a difference. You start off with Microtech. It's a mid-sized organization, our #1 honoree that provides a safe and secure and accessible work environment with a focus on employing people with disabilities and supporting these individuals to be active and productive members of a dynamic and diverse manufacturing team. Microtech is a women-led organization with a corporate commitment to inclusive hiring, those that may have been overlooked for employment opportunities. They work with each person to ensure that they are given the training and support needed to perform their cable and assembly to ensure the standards their customers are being met. Their work allows them to fulfill their mission by providing meaningful, competitive socialization, skill attainment opportunities, and financial stability for all. I'm going to turn to Erin Weissman, the Executive Vice President, and Jared Belargian, the Assembly team member, to come up and receive this award and say a few words.
Hello, everybody. My name is Erin Wyman. I'm the Executive Vice President of Microtech, and Jared Belargian. And I'm going to talk first, and then you'll have your turn. Okay. And then we also have an employee, Michael, who'd like to say a few things. But on behalf of Microtech's Board of Directors, our management team, and all of our employees, I'd like to thank the Commission for this award today. Everyone at Microtech is so excited and proud of this honor. We're hoping to show the recording later on this month and have a celebration. Thank you to all the attendees today, including Secretary Walsh, and congratulations to the other honoree. I'm really thrilled that the Commission has developed such a robust program of events this month to promote National Disability Employment Awareness Month. In particular, I feel this award ceremony highlights that businesses are successful and benefit when we invest in inclusive hiring. For Microtech, this inclusion mindset was integral to our founding, and it continues to drive our operations today. I'll tell you a little bit about Microtech, but what I'll start with is saying what I say at least once a week in different contexts, that Microtech is truly a special company. And I'm very proud to work there, and I think Jared will tell you the same. We were established in 1983 to provide employment opportunities and support to individuals with developmental disabilities. We do this in a manufacturing environment, which I think is pretty unusual. We build cable assemblies that are used in a number of different components and applications, and about 20% of our workforce are individuals who are working with a disclosed disability, 20%. After 40 years, we remain committed to creating an inclusive work experience for our employees while meeting our customers' expectations. Those go hand in hand. We believe at Microtech that everyone has value and everyone should have the opportunity for meaningful work that furthers their personal fulfillment and financial goals. We hope that this award and the Commission's celebration of National Disability Employment Awareness Month shines a light on a valuable potential pool of employees who are ready and motivated to put their talents to work. So at this time, I'd like to introduce my favorite part of what I get to say, a longtime employee of Microtech, Jared Balerjian. Jared's worked at Microtech for 15 years. He's an assembler on our production floor, and he'd like to talk to you about his employment experience. So again, thank you to the Commission for this recognition. And here's Jared.
Hello, my name is Jared Balerjian. I am an assembler at Microtech. I'd like to thank the Commission for the status of persons with disabilities for this award. We are excited to receive this award. I'm happy to be here with my coworkers. I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little about myself and Microtech. When I graduated high school many years ago, my first job was working at Target. That wasn't the right fit for me, so I got a job at Microtech. I was really happy about this because it was close to my home. 15 years later, I am still there and I work full time. That I do is an important part of the product assembly process. I do keep speak tubing, pinouts to connectors. We've been using a K-press machine. All of the work helps create the final product. Wire and cable assemblies that go into all kinds of machinery. When the packing department gets busy, I also work there. Packing work and labeling. It's important to me that I have a job at Microtech has been a good fit. When Erin and I were working on what we're going to say here, she asked me if I still like working at Microtech. After all these years, I told her I did. But then she asked me if I would still work here if I want $1 million to do lottery. And I told her that I would need to think about that.
Think about it.
I really like my job. It's nice to get paid, have vacation time. I like helping other people who need assistance at work. I also have enjoyed getting to know my coworkers. Some of them become good friends. I know that I am a viable employee at Microtech. When I first started, I didn't have any experience. But after a lot of hard work and training, I have learned many skills that I use when I am assembling products. I receive positive feedback from my supervisors about my work performance, and especially my packing and skills and great attendance. I'm happy that Microtech is receiving this award because we are a special company. My workers at Microtech value and support each other. We know that to be a successful company, everyone needs to have the chance to contribute to our success. Microtech is a unique company. Microtech is a unique company, but it doesn't have to be. More companies should consider hiring people with disabilities. It's important that everyone who wants to work has the opportunity to work. On behalf of the entire team at Microtech, thank you for this award. We are grateful to be recognized. Thank you.
Where I go now? Hi, my name is Michael Green. I started working at Microtech in 2006. I previously worked at a packaging company. I hurt my shoulder, so I wanted a sit-down job till my shoulder healed. I told my service coordinator to find me a job where I can be treated fairly and paid more, and I can learn a lot of different new skills. I feel blessed to have connected with Microtech, and Microtech is blessed to have connected with me. I have formed long-lasting friendships with some of my coworkers. Microtech is not just a job. I've always felt that family atmosphere since day one. I consider all of us family. I can't say enough good things about the staff there. They don't just care if we get the job done on time. They genuinely care about us as people. Some of us have more disability than others. But we all get treated the same. And in other jobs I've held in the past, it was not always like that. I want to thank you all for this prestigious award. It means so much to all of us.
Do you want to photo with us? Yes. So you're very fortunate to have the artist with us today. Oh, so please come on back. Please join me. It's a beautiful piece of art.
Bye, Jared. Bye, Michael.
Give it to mine.
I'm sorry.
Well, thank you all very much, and how fortunate we are that the artist is here. And once again, a great plug for Gateway Arts, amazing talent. And art is about employment. So this gentleman is actually doing his work through his art. That was a fantastic example of a can-do, talented individual with an organization that has opened doors. And I always say, changing minds and changing hearts and breaking assumptions. So thank you very much, Microtech. And thank you very much for all the work you do on the assembly line there. Now I have the honor of introducing Liberty Mutual, a pillar of inclusion and large employer. You may be familiar with Liberty Mutual through their very, very funny, memorable ads. I love these ads, but most importantly, I know them through their commitment to the communities they serve. And today, they're a great example of inclusive hiring. They've done so many great things in the state. I know them from the work that they did from the accessible playground across from Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital, and so many other ways that they have an imprint. So at Liberty Mutual, they believe that progress happens when people feel secure, by providing protection for unexpected and delivering it with care. They help people embrace today and confidently pursue tomorrow. A community leader in many aspects of inclusion, their impact on our community is far-reaching and evident in their many investments to promote inclusion. They have earned a reputation for their many years of engagement and investment. And I'm going to call Francis Hyde, the Chief Sustainability Officer, to come to the podium.
So I'm gonna talk a little bit, but maybe before I do, I want to tell Mike and Jared how amazing I thought you guys did. What a powerful job. You're super humbling to hear your stories and to hear your willingness to come up and share your journeys. Really, really awesome. So hello, everybody. My name is Francis Hyatt, and I'm Liberty Mutual's Chief Sustainability Officer. I'm very, very honored to be with you here today. For those of my colleagues in the audience with low vision, I'm a white presenting Middle Eastern Italian guy, 6'2", wearing a navy blue suit and with salt and pepper hair, much more salt than pepper these days. And I'm joined by a couple of my colleagues to my left, who are really the big leaders at Liberty Mutual and ABLE at Liberty. And ABLE at Liberty is our ERG employee resource group for folks with disabilities and allies. And so Judy Dixon is here with me and Tina Curcio. So I have the blessing and honor at Liberty of serving as the executive co-sponsor of ABLE at Liberty. And I've really always felt supported in my own journey. So I have, in my adult years, I acquired a vision disability and really want to be part of the change that needs to happen to help others who either have visible or invisible disabilities at our company. So leaders like Judy and Tina have been foundational and really critical in helping us think through the issues and break down the barriers that are created in a work environment that help us to become more accessible and help us to become a much more inclusive workplace. So as we gather here today, I know folks don't know this, but I think it bears saying that the reality is that an estimated 1 billion people across the globe experience a disability in some way, shape, or form. So to put that into perspective, that's 14% of the world population. So we clearly have work to do, right? Research shows that many people are afraid to talk about their disability or their request for an accommodation because they're concerned about stigma, they're concerned about bias, they're concerned about implications in the workplace. And for people with disabilities that are both visible and invisible, there can be a lot of barriers from an employment life cycle perspective. And I know that that's not news to folks in the room, but again, it has to be said. And so I hear stories about companies like yours and the work you're doing. And honestly, it's powerful, really, really powerful. So at Liberty, I'm not here to talk about that, by the way, as much as I want to. But at Liberty Mutual, we really want employees to build very long and fulfilling careers and to reach their full potential at the organization. But to do that, they need to be able to bring their full self to work. And it's why we've built what we call a multi-year accessibility plan at the company. And that plan is all about action. And it's about evolving policies, it's about evolving benefits, it's about evolving infrastructure and programming to create a more accessible and inclusive workplace. And so ABLE at Liberty, I mentioned earlier, has over 7,000 members, and it has been a huge and integral part of our efforts to meet the needs of people with disabilities, including helping us make our physical workplace even more supportive and our digital assets even more accessible. So as a financial services company, right, there's so much focus on digital for us. And we really need to make sure that we don't just focus on the physical shifts, but the shifts that need to happen digitally. So that employee resource group, I just want to share a little bit about it. It has 5 advisory groups that include non-apparent illness, mental health, physical disabilities, neurodiversity, and caregivers, all of which provide community and support and advice to us in terms of the work that we're doing. As one of those executive sponsors of the group, I can tell you that the work that ABLE is doing is critical. And I do want to tell you a personal story, and I share it with you because it's about this idea of stigma. So a number of years ago, I was born with a congenital birth defect inside my eyes, invisible. And about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I started to manifest issues with my retinas and had to have these crazy surgeries. That's not the important part. The part that matters is that I developed a post-surgical blood clot that was unexpected, and it choked off the blood supply to one of my eyes. And I found myself blind in one eye, legally blind in one eye. And what brought me up short on top of losing my vision was this. And I was a senior executive at Liberty. I've been there 32 years. I had this wildly successful career. I was terrified to talk about the fact that I lost my vision at work. I was afraid I was going to be viewed as having a diminished capacity. I was afraid that folks were going to think that I was going to be less than. I was young at the time, not so young anymore, and had a lot of runway and thought, you know, geez, I don't want this to impact my career. And I needed an accommodation because now I couldn't see and I needed special screen for my computer. And, you know, the bottom line is, the good news is that I worked for somebody who really allowed me to be transparent and honest. And she was one of the most senior executives of the company in the C-suite. And she kind of let me tell my story. She let me be honest and vulnerable with her. And most importantly, she didn't even make it remotely difficult from an accommodation perspective. She made it simple. And she did what I needed, and she helped me bring my full self to work. And so Liberty's not perfect. Our journey around disability inclusion has been an evolution, and we're moving in really great directions. But we do act quickly when we need to. And so, for example, that could include things like moving bathroom door accessibility buttons. It could include changing items in the cafeteria to be more vertically shelved so that folks with physical disability can get to what they want easily. But we also want to be strategic about the work. We don't just want to be task focused. And that means that change has to start with awareness and sensitivity. We need to build muscle mass in people, that they are aware of the issues that folks that find themselves disabled at work bring to the workplace, and we need to be able to act. So we've taken time to train and orient our leaders around disability inclusion, because what we really want to ensure is that everyone has the tools that they need to be successful. So as I look around the room, I know collectively we represent many of the largest employers and workplaces across the state. And at Liberty, we do have over 4,000 folks in the state of Massachusetts, or the Commonwealth, excuse me, and more than 50,000 employees worldwide. I know your organizations likely have employees who may be hiding their disabilities because they're afraid to speak about it. And people at all levels across organizations struggle, right? It's not something that is unique to one cohort. But I think one of the most impactful thing we can do as leaders is to be open with our teams, be vulnerable about our own journeys, whether we struggle or whether we're just an ally, and really model that behavior for our team so that we create environments where people feel comfortable sharing who they are. I really encourage all of us to think about how we're supporting our employees in creating an inclusive workplace. And again, I just can't tell you how touched I was by the stories that you told about your company and how you're embracing difference. It's powerful. We all need to take the time to listen. We have to make sure that we're providing our employees with what they need and giving them the space to be able to talk. We need to remove physical barriers. We need to remove barriers to people's communication, and we need to create great collaboration. And we do have a responsibility, because it is up to us to be that change and to provide our employees with equal opportunities to succeed. Let them bring their full selves to work. Ensure that the environment allows them to feel valued for the work that they're doing. And I just hope that we can imagine a place where we can achieve this, and organizations where folks are treated equitably and all have the right opportunities to succeed. We are so grateful and honored and humbled by this recognition. And there are many other folks in the organization that should have been here to get this, who have been doing a lion's share of the work. But I'm honored to be here chatting with you, and I'm humbled to accept this award. So thank you very much.
Tell us where you are. Oh, yeah, yeah. Sure.
Congratulations once again to these model employers. If you're an employer in the audience, I charge you today to meet with these folks, to see the potential. It's about a hand up, not a handout, and it makes business sense. It really is a competitive edge. And they're very fortunate to have these talented folks working for them. So I thank you for the opportunity to introduce them. Thank you, Chair Garlick. Back to you.
Thank you. I want to take a moment to recognize that Representative Vina Howard has here, as well as Representative Sean Gobley, who is such a strong advocate for the disability community and has been a leader to me. At this point, we would like to turn to Chris White, who will introduce the Employment Support Champion Award. And I think in my beginning remarks, I tried to set the table that when we talk about the workforce, we are not talking just alone about individuals with disability entering the workforce, but we are talking about the many people who make that possible for individuals with disabilities. And Chris White, I have known for a very long time. We will never hear a more earnest, authentic, committed, and compassionate voice than the Vice Chair of the Commission, Chris White.
Thank you, Chair Garlick, and it's wonderful seeing everybody here today. You know, I've had the privilege in my career to have been working for organizations dedicated to getting employment for adults with disabilities for the past 43 years. I know you're looking at me saying, this guy started in utero, but you know, it's, but anyways, and early on, apart from being the vice chair of the commission, I'm also have the honor of being the president and CEO of Road to Responsibility, an organization on the South Shore and South Coast dedicated to getting people with disabilities employment. And whenever I meet someone, tell them about Road to Responsibility, one of the first things I say is employment is probably the most important service that we provide. Because with employment, as we heard Jared and Mike and others talk about, comes respect, comes dignity, comes financial independence. Employment services are the only services provided in the Commonwealth that actually help get people off of state entitlements, state and federal entitlements, gets them independent, truly standing on their own. It is also a wonderful social lubricant, okay? That whenever you're at a party or meeting someone new, what's one of the first questions they ask? You know, what do you do, right? And so people like the first person we're going to be honoring today help give people with disabilities an answer to that question. And when they have that answer to that question, that opens up doors because people look at them differently at that point. It's really critical, and other folks have highlighted it, so I won't go on too much with it, but it's really important that people understand that folks with disabilities have more to give than they ever expect to receive. It's just up to us and to everybody else in our society to recognize that fact and to give them the opportunities they need. As Jared and Mike had suggested in their brief talks, it's not an easy job helping people with disabilities find the right fit. And that's usually the biggest issue. because many people with disabilities aren't given many opportunities to try out different experiences in the workplace. And so it takes a person who is steadfast, dedicated, emotionally intelligent, smart in every possible way, and also determined and compassionate to be able to help support a person through the employment process, which can be a really daunting process for someone. And so today I am thrilled to be able to honor Vanessa Stewart from Work Inc. Now, truth in advertising, I've never met Vanessa. But I've known her boss, Jim Cassetta, who's the president of Work Inc. for many years. And so I asked Jim about her a little bit. And he said, Chris, this lady's a rock star. She gets it done every day. She makes sure that the people working, serves, and supports are getting every opportunity to succeed possible. And so with those words, I am thrilled to honor Vanessa Stewart. Vanessa, if you could come up. Oh, wrong one. Oh, sorry. Oops. Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Vanessa Stewart. I'm an employment specialist at Work Inc. And I am very happy to be here. I work with people with disability to help them find jobs, succeed, and to keep their jobs in the community. When I came to this country 12 years ago, one of my dreams was to work in the human services field to learn how to provide services and care for people with disability, like my younger sister, Cindy. I wanted to create an agency in Haiti to teach people with no disability that people with disabilities are human beings like everybody else, and they deserve all the support and care to live their life with dignity and respect. I started as a direct support staff, providing the best care I could to my people. Yes, I call them my people. Until I received a call from my former boss who asked me what I wanted to do next in this field. I replied with no hesitation, job coaching. She said, great, call Work Inc. to schedule an interview. I went to the interview and I met Lohan, who is the Vice President of Employment. After he described the job to me, he said, I heard great things about you. If you want the job is yours. That's all I remember, and I'm a job coach since then. What I value the most about my job is the connection I establish with the people I serve, because it's not easy to earn their trust until you prove it to them. I enjoy listening to their stories and asking them, what can I do to help them? Their answers are almost the same. I want a job to earn money independently. The process starting from, I don't know if I can do it. I'm trying to do it, then I did it. They will be calling me all the time to say, Vanessa, what do you think? Can I make it? Yes, you will make it. And then I teach them how to do the job, train them, and I witness them make mistakes, try their best, learn and succeed at their jobs. Being nominated for the 2023 Employment Support Champion Award is a big achievement for me. It proves that when you always strive to go the extra mile at work, someone will recognize it someday. This award is not just for me, but for all the participants that I have the opportunity to work with and care for. I would also extend my gratitude toward my team at Work Inc. for the support and guidance. I'm very blessed and grateful. Thank you very much.
See my lens, it's you, okay? All right. 2, 3.
One second, 1 second.
Ready, 1, 2. Awesome, thank you.
One more. All right, we'll fix this. Thank you.
Good.
Okay, on 3, smile, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, we are now at the moment for closing remarks. As we begin that, I would like to first recognize we are gracing the legend here today. Jim Brett, if you would stand. For those of you who know Jim Brett, he has been on the vanguard of dealing with the issues, concerns of individuals, families of people with disabilities. And his work has never faltered, has only expanded and gotten stronger. And we are deeply grateful for you, Jim, deeply grateful. On our commission, we have 2 commissioners whose voice I always hear. And one is the voice that we have now lost, which was Paul Spooner. The other voice is Charlie Carr. And in every single commission gathering, they would say, nothing about us without us. For those of you who are enjoying all of the logistics put together so capably by Imen Ozan-Saide, I want you to know that Community Work Services has done the creating, the catering for every single event. You know, we're a 4-event group in these 2 weeks for every single event. And the food has been exceptional. The quality has been, well, the food is the quality, right? Is exceptional. And it has been wonderful working with Community Work Services. Those of you who have allowing yourself to have a cookie, you must allow yourself to have a cookie from Columbus Cookies. And as I began the program talking about, please look at this program, please look at the commission members' names. All of this program with great patience and dedication has been put together by Lane Printing, also employing people with disabilities. I think from the artwork, from the food, from the program, to all of the issues that we need to make something to get together. Every entity has been an employer who employs people with disabilities, and clearly it is a great way to go, a great way to go. I want to thank you all for joining us today. And before I close, Francis, I wanted to say I learn in every event I go to. And I would like to say, for the low vision people, that I too am of Mediterranean descent. I'm too a very solid man. I am much broader than Francis. And I am wearing a burgundy top. Thank you, Francis. So I ask you to continue this critical conversation we have on ensuring diversity and equity and inclusion in the workforce for persons with disabilities. to celebrate the organizations that strive for disability inclusion and the workforce that persons with disabilities, their families, and their caregivers rely upon every day to have a quality of life that individuals most desire and that increases everyone's quality of life. Thank you all for being here.